Global shipping is the invisible engine of our modern world. Every day, thousands of ships crisscross the oceans, carrying everything from electronics to food, fuel, and raw materials. These vessels form a vast, interconnected web that keeps our societies running smoothly, even though most of us rarely stop to think about how our goods actually arrive. Every item you use, your phone, your clothes, your car, likely crossed oceans before reaching you. The journey of these everyday objects is long and complex, involving multiple ports, ships, and sometimes even continents. Without this global network, the modern conveniences we take for granted would simply not exist. This vast network of ships and ports is the backbone of international trade, connecting producers and consumers worldwide. Ports never sleep. Day and night, cranes unload containers, trucks shuttle goods, and ships set sail for distant shores. It's a choreography of logistics that underpins the global economy. When shipping routes are open, economies thrive. Goods flow freely, prices stay stable, and businesses can plan for the future. The reliability of these routes is what allows supermarkets to stay stocked and factories to keep running. But when these routes are disrupted, the impact is global. Delays ripple through supply chains, causing shortages, price spikes, and uncertainty for millions of people. The Suez Canal blockage showed just how fragile these arteries of commerce can be. For days, a single ship brought a tenth of global trade to a standstill, costing billions and highlighting our dependence on these narrow passageways. That vulnerability drives nations to seek new, more secure shipping lanes. The search for alternatives is not just about efficiency, it's about national security, economic stability, and maintaining a competitive edge. For centuries, choke points like the Suez and Panama Canals have shaped global power. Whoever controls these gateways can influence the flow of trade and, by extension, the fortunes of nations. Any nation that can bypass these gains a strategic edge, securing supply chains and reshaping trade. The ability to move goods quickly and safely is a powerful tool in the modern world. Now, a new frontier is opening, the Arctic. As climate change melts the polar ice, previously impassable waters are becoming navigable for the first time in history. Melting ice is revealing a potential shortcut at the top of the world. This route could cut thousands of miles off traditional shipping journeys, saving time, fuel, and money. Russia and China are seizing this opportunity, collaborating on a bold new shipping route. Their investments in icebreakers, ports, and infrastructure signal a race to control this emerging passage. This isn't just about faster trade, it's about shifting the balance of global power. Whoever dominates the Arctic route could reshape the world's economic and political landscape for decades to come. Welcome to the story of the Northern Sea Route, a new chapter in the ongoing saga of global trade, where the stakes are higher than ever, and the future is being written on the world's coldest waters. Moscow and Beijing's vision is to transform the Northern Sea Route into a year-round international shipping lane. Russia brings icebreakers and Arctic expertise. China brings capital, technology, and cargo. For Russia, the route unlocks its Arctic resources and generates revenue from transit and ports. For China, it's a strategic shortcut to Europe, bypassing US-influenced choke points. The Polar Silk Road is a new economic corridor built on mutual benefit. Massive investment is underway: new ports, search and rescue stations, and communication networks. Russia's nuclear icebreakers keep the route open, while China's trade makes it viable. As Arctic ice recedes, this once impossible passage is becoming a commercial reality. The goal, a reliable, competitive shipping highway through the top of the world. Together, Russia and China are rewriting the rules of maritime trade. The Northern Sea Route, often called the NSR, traces a bold path along Russia's vast and frozen Arctic coast. This remote region, once considered impenetrable, is now at the center of a global shipping revolution. The NSR links the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, creating a vital maritime bridge between continents. It's a route that's rapidly gaining attention from shipping companies and world powers alike. At over 13,000 kilometers, the NSR offers a direct shortcut between the manufacturing hubs of East Asia and the markets of Northern Europe. This route bypasses traditional bottlenecks and opens up new possibilities for global trade. But navigating the NSR is no easy feat. Ships must contend with shifting sea ice, narrow and treacherous channels, and sudden, unpredictable Arctic storms. Every journey demands constant vigilance and expert seamanship. To make this journey possible, powerful Russian nuclear icebreakers carve safe passages through the frozen sea, guiding cargo ships and ensuring their safe transit through some of the world's harshest waters. Russia is investing heavily in Arctic infrastructure, rapidly expanding ports like Murmansk and Sabeta. These modern hubs are designed to handle the growing flow of goods and support the NSR as a major new trade artery. For ships traveling from Shanghai to Rotterdam, the NSR can slash travel time by up to 2 weeks compared to the traditional Suez Canal route. This dramatic reduction means goods arrive faster, fresher, and more reliably. The benefits are clear: lower fuel consumption, reduced shipping costs, and a significant competitive edge for companies willing to embrace this northern shortcut. As climate change causes Arctic ice to recede and new infrastructure rises, the NSR's appeal continues to grow. What was once a seasonal gamble is quickly becoming a reliable, year-round option for global shipping. The route is evolving, transforming from a risky passage into a strategic shortcut that's reshaping the world's shipping map and connecting distant economies. The world is watching closely as this northern passage redefines global logistics, sparking new partnerships and competition among nations and companies. The Arctic is no longer just a frozen barrier, it's a gateway to opportunity, innovation, and a new era in international trade. For Russia, the Northern Sea Route is a national strategy, not just a shipping lane. The Arctic holds vast reserves of oil, gas, and minerals, resources once locked away by ice. The NSR unlocks these riches, enabling exports and fueling domestic investment in shipbuilding and infrastructure. Russia controls the entire route, collecting transit fees and asserting Arctic dominance. Its fleet of nuclear icebreakers cements its leadership in the region. As global interest in the Arctic grows, Russia's control over the NSR ensures it remains a key player. The partnership with China brings the traffic needed to make the route profitable. Together, they're turning a remote frontier into a strategic asset. For Russia, the NSR is the key to its Arctic future. For China, the Northern Sea Route is a solution to the Malacca dilemma, the risk of blockade at the Strait of Malacca. The NSR offers a strategic bypass, reducing China's dependence on US-influenced waters. It's not just about speed, it's about securing vital trade and energy flows. Shorter shipping times mean lower costs and more competitive exports to Europe. The NSR fits perfectly into China's Belt and Road Initiative, expanding its influence into the Arctic. By investing in the route, China gains a voice in Arctic affairs and a new level of strategic autonomy. The Polar Silk Road is China's bid to shape the future of global trade. For Beijing, the Arctic is now part of its economic lifeline. The Northern Sea Route is a geopolitical game-changer. For centuries, control of choke points like the Suez and Malacca Straits has meant global power. The US Navy dominates these waters, giving Washington leverage over rivals. The NSR, running through Russian waters, lies beyond US naval reach. In a crisis, it's much harder for the US to block Chinese shipping via the Arctic. This new route strengthens the Russia-China partnership and creates an alternative economic corridor. Other nations may be drawn to this new axis, seeking faster, more secure trade. The US and its allies now face the challenge of adapting to a shifting strategic landscape. The Arctic is becoming a new front in global competition. The rules of maritime power are being rewritten by melting ice and bold ambition. When it comes to global shipping, two routes now stand out: the Northern Sea Route, or NSR, and the Suez Canal. The NSR is about 40% shorter than the traditional Suez route between Shanghai and Rotterdam, a massive advantage for shipping companies looking to save time and money. This dramatic reduction in distance can mean the difference between weeks and days for a single journey. Less distance means less fuel burned, which translates to lower operational costs and reduced carbon emissions. For shipping companies, this also means faster deliveries, which is crucial for time-sensitive goods and perishable cargo. Every day saved at sea can have a big impact on supply chains and bottom lines. However, the Suez Canal remains a deep, well-established route. It's open year-round with decades of experience handling the world's largest ships. Its infrastructure is robust, and ports along the route are equipped to handle massive volumes of cargo efficiently. In contrast, the NSR is shallower, ice-prone, and only navigable for part of the year. Ships often require expensive icebreaker escorts, and unpredictable weather can cause sudden delays or hazards, making planning more complex. Security risks also differ. The Suez faces threats from piracy and political instability in the region, sometimes leading to costly disruptions. Meanwhile, the NSR is under tight Russian control with heavy military and regulatory oversight, which brings its own set of challenges and dependencies. For China and other major trading nations, it's a strategic trade-off. Using the NSR means less US influence over shipping lanes, but it also means greater reliance on Russia for access and security. The NSR won't fully replace the Suez Canal anytime soon, but it's quickly becoming a powerful alternative, especially for time-sensitive or high-value cargo that benefits from faster transit times during the Arctic's navigable months. As Arctic infrastructure improves, with new ports, ice-resistant terminals, and better navigation technology, the economic case for the NSR grows stronger. Investments from Russia, China, and other countries are rapidly transforming the region. The world now has a second major east-west maritime highway, reshaping global trade patterns and offering new options for shippers and nations alike. The choice between these routes will depend on the season, the type of cargo, insurance costs, and the ever-shifting landscape of global politics and alliances. The Arctic is no longer just a curiosity on the map. It's a serious competitor, and its role in global shipping is only set to grow in the years ahead. The Arctic remains a harsh, unpredictable environment. Extreme weather, sea ice, and remote coastlines make the NSR a formidable challenge. Ships need reinforced hulls and costly icebreaker escorts for much of the year. Russia is racing to build ports and rescue stations, but infrastructure gaps remain. Emergencies can mean help is days away, raising risks and insurance costs. Environmental threats loom large. Oil spills or pollution could devastate fragile Arctic ecosystems. The short shipping season and logistical hurdles make regular use difficult. To succeed, the NSR must prove itself safe, reliable, and cost-effective. The Arctic's promise comes with real risks, and the world is watching. The Northern Sea Route is more than a shipping shortcut. It's a shift in global power. By opening a new corridor between Asia and Europe, Russia and China are challenging the old order. The NSR offers faster, cheaper trade, but also a strategic bypass of US-controlled choke points. For China, it's a lifeline. For Russia, a path to Arctic dominance. The route faces huge challenges: harsh climate, infrastructure needs, and environmental risks. But as the ice melts and investment grows, its influence will only increase. The Arctic is now a stage for global competition and cooperation. The future of trade and power may flow through these icy waters.